Okay, I think I'm live now. Um, Welcome to my next Dev Diary. We're going to look at the project browser today. I made a bunch of edits during the week because it was accepted into the Obsidian plugin directory. So it's now live. You can install it in Obsidian. Let's have a look at that, and let's have a look at the small bug fixes or slight features that I updated to give it kind of the minimum viable functionality, so we can build from there. So let me jump to my other screen. Okay, so this is obviously it. Let's have a quick look at how to install it first. So if you go to settings and go to community plugins, you'll have to turn off the restricted mode in order to install community plugins. You can see I've got a whole bunch installed here. So if you go to browse and you go project browser, you'll see project browser, yours won't be installed. It doesn't say the version here, but once you install it, in this version, it is currently, where is it? Project browser, version 0.0.20. By the time you install it, it might be a later version, but that's what it is at the time of this video. So there's no settings for it yet, but let's have a look at what is in there. So any folder now just appears as a folder at the top. I took out some of the functionality where a folder could sit down here, purely because it needs a little bit more design before I bring that back in. So now all your folders will sit at the top. Your files obviously sit down here. One of the quick changes was it now responds to the light theme. So that should still work if you've got a lighter theme as well. Let's go back because I don't like working in the light theme. Okay, so then obviously you can go into folders as usual and then go back. You can go into a file as usual. You can then select the state up the top. The states are hard coded to idea, drafting, final, archived and cancelled. And if you click one that's already selected, it'll turn off the state. You can go back. And then the bigger addition is that if I hit this plus button now, which is just a floating plus button, it'll create a file here and then it'll immediately open it. So I can start typing, I can set a state, and I can go back and I'll see that that file is sitting there under that state that I set it as. It's just a basic floating plus button for now, but in the future I'll refine that and figure out where it should actually live. But I just wanted to make sure that functionality was there for you. So that you can actually use this now, because you don't have to open the file browser. You can create files right from here where you want them. So if I go into favorites and I click plus as well, you see that appeared down there. Test file, and I'll go back. It jumps back to the root at the moment, but if we go back into favorites, you'll see test file is right there. So that's it. The basic functionality is there. Now the next step is to start improving things and taking a little bit more time, maybe a couple of weeks at a time, maybe a week sometimes, just to flesh that out and make it refine it properly. So if we jump into and search and search project browser again, you'll see that in here there is a roadmap. So you can see there's a bunch of things I've ticked off. I've done the add new file button that actually needs to be ticked off. But then there's a few next things that I'm going to address that will take a little bit longer, but should be done this month. And that's it. Thanks for joining. And let me know what you think. If you've started using it, if anything's bugging you, you can always post an issue on the GitHub repository. Thanks. See ya.